1 year.
All right, and let's set pace for that conversation on the agricultural feed. Livestock farmers and feed manufacturers are facing hard times as the cost of feed and raw materials soar to an all-time high. They are now calling on the government to allow importation of cheap genetically modified soybean from the global market to save the sector from total collapse. Philip Keitani with more.
Livestock farmers in the country are facing a total collapse of their farms as the cost of feed hit unprecedented highs, forcing most of them to experiment on alternative feed sources that have little or no nutritional value as compared to conventional feeds. On this day, I visited Naiposha dairy farm in Naivasha, and on arrival, I met Martin Gadesha, the proprietor of the farm, and her daughter Karen Jerry, who is also a director at the farm, doing their morning runs at the farm. According to Martin and Jerry, these morning runs are becoming difficult for them as their herd health and production is deteriorating because they can't afford to feed them with proper feeds.
The cost of the feeds have become very expensive. Before COVID, a bag of 70 kg used to cost around 2,000 shillings. Currently, right now, is 3,000 to 3,500 if you get the right product.
As you know, in any livestock enterprise, feeds make up about 80% of all inputs that go into production of especially milk. And in the recent times, we've seen the cost of feeds rise by more than 45 to 50%, and that has also driven our expenses to rise by that percent.
In the year 2020, the farm had 300 dairy cows, with 160 of those being milked. But because of the tough economic times and the high cost of feeds, the farm has been forced to reduce the number by half and currently has only 150 cows, only milking 60 of them.
What have kept me going is the love of the animals. I'll tell you that for sure. It's not the profit, because we don't make any profit. It's just the love of the animals and also the workers who are working here. I used to have 60 workers. Now I have 20. Now I don't even know if I close this farm, I don't know where they will go.
According to John Gadhogo, from the Association of Kenya Animal Feed Manufacturers, soybean, a key protein component in animal feed manufacturing, has more than doubled in the last few months, from 50 shillings to 120 kilograms, with Zambia, one of the key sources of soya, imposing a ration on its imports. Other sources of soya has been Malawi and Uganda, which are...
Very well, so quite some telling pictures right there. I mean, by all means, farmers need to find affordable feed to maintain production, but this is happening. In fact, this is coming at a time when even the president had on the 20th last year, during Mashujaa Day, having directed that there be some subsidy on the animal feed. Let's now give you some numbers. Now, the cost of animal feeds has gone up by at least 100 shillings since last year, December. The increment is linked to the cost of maize, which is a raw material. The price of the commodity continues to rise amid stalemate on the importation of the yellow grain. We prepared a set of data on the price of a 70 kilogram bag, and now these are the breakdowns. So for the layers mash, we're talking about the chicken feed. For the layers mash, it is currently 3,900, but previously it was 3,800 shillings. Chicken mash it currently goes for 4,300 shillings, and of course it's experienced a jump by 100 shillings from 4,200. The dairy meal is at 3,500 and previously was 3,400. Brenda, those are quite some telling numbers right there.
Of course, an interesting set of developments, but Martin Gadesha from Naiposha Dairy, Naivasha, joins us with a practical perspective. Of course, he was there at Philip Kaitani's report on what this means for farmers such as himself on the animal feed sector. Thank you so much for joining us, Martin. Welcome to Business Cafe.
Thank you.
All right. that you indicated that you have reduced the number of cows that you used to have because of the cost of production. Could you talk to us a little bit about exactly how much do you spend when it comes to the inputs and how this has significantly affected your business?
Oh, thank you very much for having me this morning. My name is Martin Gadesha. I'm the director of Naiposha Dairy Farm, and the feeds have really, the cost of the feeds have really gone up, as it have been tabulated on the news there that within a few months it have gone up with 100 shillings, which can transfer to a lot of money depending with the number of the herd you are having.
All right, so let's go way back to 2019. How much are you spending on the inputs and how much are you spending on them now?
Well, 2019 I used to spend about, let's say 100 and, in total we used to spend about 1 million shillings. Right now we are spending about 450, which is translated to half.
All right, that's quite an increase. So what are some of the steps that you've taken so far in a bid to cushion yourself? Is it that even as you're reducing the number of cattle that you're keeping, you're also increasing the cost when it comes to selling your cows in the market?
Okay, what we have done, we have tried to reduce the quantity of the dairy meal that we feed our cows, and we are substituting it with the Lucerne, which is of higher proteins, and even some of the other farm produce, because buying the dairy product have become very, very expensive, and if anything, most of them are not available. For example, soya, sunflower, it's not available, and if it is, it's very, very expensive.
And of course, that is why we have that directive from the Treasury allowing the imputation of GMO. But, you know, the GMO is quite a sensitive topic because of the environmental and health issues associated with this. I don't know, what's your perspective in relation to this?
I think the government should take it seriously because since they started talking, nothing haven't been done, because other countries like America and other places, they are using GMOs. Now, I don't understand why for last year it have taken so long, and the animals cannot wait. If it's going to be around by next year, what will happen to the industry?
All right, and I'm sure you do keep other animals as well. I also understand you also keep chicken and other animals. How has this affected other animals in your business?
I think it's in the entire farming with animals, which is chicken, pigs, cows, and all of them, because they all eat the same product, which is a end product of the maize, which is not even available in the country.
All right, and you know, Branji, this of course is a developing story even as we go forward. I don't know, what's your perspective in relation to this, and what would you want to know from the farmers going forward?
I am keen on the ROI, return on investment. I mean, Martin says that, you know, he's had to downsize, and now the income is not as stable as it was previously. And actually from Keitani, we were getting a brief from Keitani last week about this same story, and Keitani was saying that Martin was actually contemplating, doing away with the agricultural business, the animal farming business, and maybe focus on other things. We would not want to get to that extent, because the production of milk and the production of other things, even things like pork production, which we were focusing on just a while back. Martin earlier on shared with me that actually on his farm also he has pigs and he does pork farming. So it's a sensitive issue that needs to be addressed quite fast. And I think farmers in the country are going through a really hard time, because it's not just a month. A month has not elapsed since we talked about potato farming. Today we're talking about coffee, and now animal feed. These things need to be addressed real quick so that we find a lasting remedy, so that farming can also be a worthwhile venture, Brenda.
All right, of course. So that has been a focus on the animal feed crisis, but we do have a discussion going forward in relation to the high cost of living. We will be able to break down the numbers in terms of which prices of commodities has gone up and what this means for your pocket, Branji. So, of course, this is a significant topic that we'll be following in our subsequent bulletins, and it will be our main coverage for tomorrow's Business Cafe.
Definitely. I am Brian Jojotieno, and of course you can find much more at 3 p.m. with Noah Kipkemboy. Remember, today is the day of the innovator, technology and matters startups. We'll be focusing on My Kanisa application. But many thanks also to our guest, Martin Gavesha, for coming. Thank you so much. He came all the way from Naivasha.
How about that? How about that, Branji? We really appreciate your time, and thank you so much for watching Business Cafe. I have been your host, Brenda Kerubo. Have a lovely day.